Hey, what is going on? It is Devin from D-Rob Fitness, and welcome to my channel that's all about helping you train smarter, optimize your performance, and creating your fitness blueprint. And today we're going to be checking out a video from BuzzFeed, and this is an older video that is titled, I Got a Personal Trainer for 30 Days. And so I'm always excited to hear about people's journey into deciding to get a personal trainer and what their experience is like. As somebody who has been personal training, group fitness, and online coaching for over 15 years and has a ton of certifications and teaches different classes and everything, I'm just always so intrigued about people's journey into fitness and kind of their experience of, deciding to work with a trainer, what's it like and everything. And so checking back in this video from 10 years ago, I'm really excited because I like to see how training was back then, even though obviously I was still training, but seeing how it was then and how it still correlates with, the main principles of why people get trainers and the different things that their trainers do, and seeing how how it compares to what is kind of expected now and everything. And then at the end of the video, I'll go into a little bit about my experience of like what got me into training, which a little mini spoiler is I actually got to work with a trainer, and that inspired me to become a personal trainer. So we'll have that little story time at the very end. So with that, we'll go ahead and we will check out this video in 3, 2, 1.
Give me some jumping jacks to keep your heart rate up.
Huh?
Jumping jacks to keep your heart rate
I
going.
love when clients always give an attitude when you tell them to do something.
Hey, real jumping jacks. There we go.
I
Personal
think
train for
that
30
the adult
days.
world has been hitting me hard, and I feel like I have zero time for myself. I'm just
like,
constantly
it's huge.
at work, and then I'm trying to sleep, and then I eat, and then I'm at work again by the end of the weekend. I love myself and I love where I'm at in my life, but I feel like mentally I need some type of release, and I just want to be in an okay place.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
My name is Bryn, and I'm a personal trainer. It wasn't until college that I actually struggled with depression, and it definitely got to me, for sure. And I started to gain weight just gradually. Finally, one day I walked into a gym and just said, hey, I need a trainer, I need help. And that completely changed my life.
So I'm wanting to go on this
So this is like
30-day
their initial
journey
consultation,
to really
looks like.
motivate myself. I'm ready to want to work out because I want to feel that stress relief rather than lose weight on the scale, blah, 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 blah. Because
Yeah.
I'm over that. I am hoping through this experience I learn how to talk to myself better. I'm a big advocate
There's
of
so
if you
much
don't want to
mental
do
that
it,
goes
don't
into
do it.
it.
I am hoping that I push myself and that no matter what, I don't stop.
Have you ever done the Culver stairs?
No, but I love stairs.
How about we run the Culver stairs together?
I can do that.
Okay, that will be
I
a win
love that.
We can try to beat that time.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Yay, okay.
It's currently 5:39 a.m. I'm packing my lunch. I packed protein. Who am I? So I'm on my way to my little session with Bryn.
Okay, that's a little cute little box gym.
I'm feeling super sore already, but I'm feeling really good about my body, and I feel like I've had more endorphins and I've been happier throughout the day.
That is such an effect from fitness that people
It was my first week
overlook.
of tracking what I eat. I realized I still need to work on not caring about weight. I think the pressure of me focusing on the numbers of weight and inches honestly has been just ingrained in me since I was young. And growing up, that's how I measured my success.
Especially as women, we put so much value into what that number says. And legitimately, here's a news flash, you can drink 2 cups of water and you'll gain a pound on the scale. It's water.
There
Your
we
body
go.
needs water, and yet we beat ourselves up because the scale has changed.
Even though now I'm not dropping a ton of weight, I'm feeling so much better about myself than when I was dropping weight and doing it very unhealthily. It was really hard today. I think she called it cardio. It felt like cardio.
Okay, cool. So we're doing an EMOM every minute. At the top of each minute, you have to start with your exercise. Good, Jess. Pick up the speed a little bit for me, like you're sprinting. Ready? And go. 10 seconds.
It's kind of looking like a
5,
CrossFit inspired
3,
gym.
2.
I started using those rope things today. I've never used those before. Yeah, it was really hard.
Ropes.
Like before it was kind of like, oh, okay, like let's get through this. And today I felt like it was more like, you're done, let's go to the next thing. You're done, let's go to the next thing.
That's so good. Let's make you question your existence. I know. I would be concerned if you smell like roses. Here we go.
It was my last workout of week 2. It was tough today because I focused a lot more on muscle than like cardio. My calorie burn was like 200 less than normal, but like I have to get in my head that because I didn't lose as much calories doesn't mean I wasn't working out as hard. It's our first time here.
Yay!
You are not that excited. I know she's not. Oh, first of all, they did not even tell you that you have to walk this little track to get up to the stairs. I have no time goal. My goal is to just start and finish. It was not terrible.
60 minutes, 55 seconds. Pretty good.
It was tough.
You did it though.
We based ourselves and then we took a little break every
Yeah.
chapter. You could take a break.
Every chapter.
But my goal for the last time was to just beat that time. This is getting harder and harder and harder, which I'm glad I have a trainer to do that for me. It's nice to be pushed. Last night, before I went to bed and everything, I was like, tomorrow you have to work, you have to move, and you have to beat your own ass at workouts tomorrow. So today I tried to be quicker on my breaks and to do things faster. We're here. Round 2. I just put myself in the mindset of like, I just need to make it up these stairs in less than 16:55. I'm not feeling the most positive, but why not?
She's come a long way. Let's be honest with ourselves.
I've come a long way, but I don't want to do this. The first time I walked the stairs, we were doing 10 stairs at a time. This time we were trying 20 stairs at a time and 30 stairs at a time, rather than like giving myself bigger breaks. We took smaller breaks.
And we're probably about a third of the way done, and Jazz is killing the game.
I'm dying.
But she's doing it.
Girl.
Almost there. Here. You can do this. 20 more steps. 4, 5, 6.
The stairs were hard mentally in a different way.
Secretly, I had a goal for you to get it under 13 minutes. I thought you could beat your time by at least 4 minutes, and you did. You crushed it.
So the second time I went up the stairs, it was 12:38.
Good, over halfway. You got it. Right to the top. Don't stop, don't stop. Keep it going, keep it going. Almost done. You did it! Jazz is the best. That was really cool to see, because it wasn't just me pushing you at that point. You were pushing yourself as well. So the first day we worked out, we did an assessment where we did certain physical activities for 60 seconds and we timed how many you could do. You did 19 squats the first day, and the last time we did it, you did 35 squats. Did you expect that you would have done as well as you did in 30 days?
I remember the first time we did this, I was like so proud of my numbers. And then the last time we did this, I was like, what was I proud of?
Well, you didn't puke.
Right.
So like, that's
Oh.
the thing.
Yeah. I've gotten so much more out of this experience than I ever would have thought. Focusing on like my stress levels and focusing on taking this time for myself and how strong I feel mentally was so much healthier for me.
Actually, I think my favorite Jazz quote was, she said, why can't we just do things I like? Why can't we just do naps? You know? Go like eat some brunch.
All my clients say. That was so good, and that just makes my heart so happy, because at the base, even though, like I said, this video was from 10 years ago, it's like at the root, it still stays the same. And that's what I'm constantly talking to clients about, is that we don't always have to reinvent the wheel. With a lot of stuff with fitness, it is very simple. We just complicate stuff, honestly. And so that was really dope to see that, like, at the root, a lot of the main principles are still the same. And so it was really cool to kind of see her going into her journey. And that's what I feel like with a lot of my clients, especially my clients that are like full-time in their career and whatnot is that they lose themselves into work, family, and everything, that they have a hard time trying to figure out time for their self. And when they do have time for their self, they don't always think of the fitness, but I'm always telling them that it's so important at this time to create this healthy lifestyle. And it doesn't mean that you have to be going to the gym every day. Like, you can figure out other things, but it's important for you to create this healthy lifestyle, because as you age, you want to make sure that you're keeping your quality of life as great as it can be, because it doesn't make sense to be making all this money and doing all this stuff for work, but then your health is declining and then you can't enjoy it when you're retiring or when you're getting older or anything like that. And so you want to create these healthy lifestyles, because you just get busier and you get more responsibilities. So it's important to try and make your fitness a priority, and how much of that is very dependent on every person. And then another thing they were kind of talking about, and this is something that I talk with my clients about too, is to not be a slave to the scale, because a lot of times, especially when you're adding resistance training, strength training to your regimen, you're not going to drop weight because you are putting on muscle as you are dropping body fat. And so I always tell people, like, even measurements, or that's why a lot of trainers do progress pictures, and to also just look at how your clothes fit, because that's a very telltale sign that's very simple that I have a lot of my clients, because they'll be like, I feel like I'm leaning out a little bit, but my weight is the exact same. And I'm like, well, how is your clothes fitting? And they're like, oh, well, it is a little looser, and maybe my arms. I had a client that just the other day, she was like, my arms are like filling out the shirt, like it's getting kind of hard to put on the shirt because they're filling out so much. And it's like little things like that that you have to pay in mind too. And they brought up a good point, and this is one of the things too when people are looking into trainers. I'm like, it's that accountability in knowing that you have that responsibility. It is forcing you to make your fitness a priority by working with a trainer, because you saw about second or third week, she was like, oh, I didn't really want to go, but I knew that I had my trainer there, so I knew that I had to go and do the workout and everything. And so that's one of the things that I always tell people too, is even when you're trying to get back on track, to work with a trainer, even if you're not working with them for forever or anything like that, it's just to really help to set a standard for yourself and help keep you accountable as you get back into your fitness journey. So that was cool to see. When they first started, the workouts were really really tough. She was really sore. And I always tell people, the first week or so is going to be really challenging. You're going to feel really sore. You're going to feel these different things. But as you progress, your body will adapt, and it won't be as sore. But we will also be able to challenge you more and do more things, but then you will want to challenge yourself too. And it was really cool to see in that process how she was even the last week she was talking about how she was wanting to try and see how many reps she could get before the time was up and everything. And so that's really cool to see. And then the last big thing that I would say that I really enjoyed about this trainer in particular, and it's something that I try to do personally, is she tried to find something that maybe was outside of the typical gym that the client wanted to do, and she incorporated that into their workout and just kind of making that a challenge with doing the stairs. And that's something that I try to do with my clients. Like, if you know me, I'm always trying to get my clients to do an obstacle course race, a 5K, just all these crazy random things, because I feel like that helps give you that extra X factor. And when things get a little bit more challenging and you kind of, that newness wears off of oh, I'm excited, or when people start to get results, they can start to get complacent. But if you have this thing, I'm always telling my clients, what is the thing that you always wanted to do that you've never done fitness wise? And it doesn't have to be a competition. It could even be going mountain climbing or hiking or something like that. And I try to work with them to be hey, let's try and find an obstacle course race for you. Let's figure out a date and on the weekend, let's go hiking, or let's go do something that's going to give you that extra push. And I like that she did that, because like I feel like that really gives that extra motivation. And so I told you at the beginning of the video, I would tell my little story about like how I got into training and my experience with working with a trainer. And so when I was finishing up my undergrad at Wichita State University, go Shocks, I was getting my undergrad in sports management, and I actually happened to be a cheerleader for Wichita State. And at that time, cheerleading was growing, it's getting, being more accepted as a sport. So we got like a personal trainer. And so I worked with a personal trainer, and that was my first time, because I was never, even though I was a cheerleader, I wasn't huge into fitness. I wasn't working out all the time. I wasn't eating right or anything like that. And from working out with a trainer, I learned so much about all the things that I was doing wrong. And I was like, I want to help inspire other people and educate other people the way that I, experienced, because I did not know this stuff. I thought that I was doing stuff right, and I didn't know that I was doing stuff the completely wrong way. And so I ended up going and getting my master's in exercise science. And so, and from since then, been personal training. And even to this day, I still will work with online coaches, even if they're just for short periods of time, because I want to be able to continue to learn and kind of see what their process is like and everything. I'm currently working with Brian Smarsh, and been doing Olympic lifting, and and I think it's just really important to always have that accountability. And for me, I work with a trainer, I work with an online coach currently, because I want to be able to focus my time on working with my clients and being efficient with that. I don't want to create my own workout. I don't want to be burdened with that. I just want to be able to go in and lift and be told kind of what to do, and make sure I'm progressing the way that I need to. And so that's been really helpful for me, so that even to this day, I still use a trainer, because like I said, I feel like it's helping me refine my skills. It's challenging me in a different way, because a lot of times, even with trainers, we have our set programming, we have our set way of tackling our other clients. So we have a certain way of tackling ourselves. And so I think it's important to get other viewpoints and seeing, oh, this is how he does his training, or this is how she approaches it. This is how she does her different things. And so it helps me to continue to develop and grow in my craft, because I believe that you should always be learning and challenging yourself. So if you're on the fence about getting a personal training online coach, whatever, you should definitely do it. You should definitely try it out, because I always tell people, you're making an investment in yourself and in your health. And although it can be a little expensive and it can be on the pricey side, not gonna lie, it's totally worth it in the end, because the knowledge that you will learn will last you for a lifetime, especially if you get a good trainer that will break stuff down and that will help educate you, which is like something that I do. It will be worth the money, because you will learn so much stuff that you can carry on with you. So this was a dope video. Super glad to check that out. And so let me know, do you work with a trainer? What's your experience been like with working with a trainer and everything? And let me know down in the comments below, and make sure to check out, we got other videos over here of continuing with this series where we're reacting to old videos and new fitness trend videos, and just kind of having an open discussion about it. So I'll see you next week.